Okay, let's get started. Today's weekly town hall meeting, May 15th, 2023. Welcome, everybody. Today's agenda, projects and development updates, marketing updates, and collaborations. Robinson, please start us off with project and development updates.
Sure, thank you. So let's start with the individual product updates. The first and foremost, the Peerplays legacy code bases updates. So what's the current work is we are preparing a beta release. So this beta release will include all the major improvements and features implemented in the last 6 to 7 months, except for the libbitcoin functionality. So the libbitcoin testing has been the server setup has taken nearly 2 quarters, and it is not we don't have an ETA as to when we can uh, complete this. So we're deciding to proceed without support for libbitcoin, which means we'll have support for Ethereum Suns, and the Bitcoin functionality will remain as it is. So at the same time, we are also trying to get the Bitcoin related functionality verified by alternate means. That is by trying to get a bigger server and also trying to use desktop machines, etc. So we are trying to do that. So if that is going to take more time, just to make sure that we have our releases are the number of releases per quarter that remains in a healthy number, we will proceed with an upgrade right now, and then as soon as the Bitcoin related functionality is tested, we will do yet another release. So these works are in progress at this point. Apart from that, there are no major code changes or bug fixes on the code base. We just need to merge some of the branches and prepare a release. So that's in progress. On Peerplays 2, what we have done is we have created a pre-alpha release, which will act like the base for further testing and also for any DApps under development. Now, this doesn't have all the base features which we had in some of the previous snapshots of the code base. For example, we had uh, kind of different functionality, or rather more complete functionality when it comes to solidity related features, or rather solidity smart contracts. But right now this feature removes some of those functionality, but we'll be able to create Ethereum style addresses as well as send funds to them. But deploying of smart contracts itself is not supported at this point, because we have to make some changes to the way how gas price or the fee is calculated. And other features like ink smart contracts, they remain the same. So this update has been made, uh, and parallelly we are working on other improvements, like this account unification that we've been working on. This has brought in various changes and bugs. So we're trying to uh, address those bugs, and also make sure that the features are fully available. So we're working on that. And the QA for Peerplays 2, we're formally starting the QA now that we managed to get a QA environment also set up. We are slowly starting with the QA as well. Now, for the next week, the amount of changes could be a little less because we have one of the developers on vacation. So that's Peer Place 2. And for Together, which is one of our DApps, we will be using this initial pre alpha release. So this the app requires essentially two features right now, which is account creation, or rather linking of an Ethereum address, plus usage of funds. So those functionalities are available. So this particular snapshot or release will be used uh, for the initial development of Together. On the next, the production release remains the same. The major focus has been on the GPOS related screens. So the current GPOS screens are pretty basic, and they don't provide information as to whether the uh, decay period, or rather where exactly we are on the GPOS subperiods and decay. So for individual users over a period of time, the vote weights decays. But right now there is no easy way to identify this, and we have seen that this has caused confusion and even crashes. So we're trying to bring in a better UI to easily understand the GPO's vote decay status, which is it's in progress. So that's a major work happening. And in addition to that, we're also trying to extend the UI a little bit, so that we can support a block explorer. So this will be available on a different URL, and the objective was to provide this for various external uh, tools and aggregators like CoinMarketCap and CoinGecko, who relies on certain APIs. So certain APIs as well as the UI. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to extend some of the screens. For example, our uh, individual wallet or account balance UI, which doesn't have all the inputs, which is require all the information which is required by coin market cap, and even for a human user, some of the useful information is not available. So as part of this effort, we're trying to extend the UI so that both this audiences like or rather tools like coin market cap can consume it, plus the uh, humans can also consume it in a much better manner. So what we have done for this is our original idea was to use the Elasticsearch Explorer, and we had a pretty uh, large and outdated code base called Chain Worker or Explorer API, which was written in Python 2. So we were trying to use that, but now we have found a way to provide the required APIs with much lesser work. So thanks to Chris, who has worked on this and came up with a open API spec and a Swagger UI for the same. So we'll mostly be providing using this API along for this Block Explorer project. So on together, I guess we are in an exciting phase. We have the initial mockups or sketches pretty much completed, and it's looking good. And use cases is in progress. The test cases they're also in progress, and this particular app requires AI. Primarily, we're trying to integrate with OpenAI, uh, their API. So we're trying to do a POC to better understand how this integration works. That's one item which is in progress. In addition to this, we also have a few other third-party tools which needs a little better fine tuning. So we are also looking at how to uh, integrate with them. So we may have to do a couple of more POCs, at least one of them. Yeah, another point which I forgot to mention in the slides is we're trying to use the newer FIDO 2 or WebAuthn based authentication, which is now mostly called as passkey. So we're trying to introduce, uh, trying to evaluate whether we can use passkey based authentication. So current focus is if we can easily get a POC for passkey, we may be able to integrate passkey as well. It is to simply say that the user registrations etc. will happen without the need for the old school passwords. So we're exploring that. So if it works, if it is easy and if it is easily integratable with what we have, we will proceed with that. In addition to that, we're also working on the database schema and uh, fine tuning the tools. Like for authentication, we are using Nextauth. So we have integrated a, a plugin for GraphQL plus Nextauth, or rather a bridge. So these aspects are completed, and we are essentially waiting. So we have these POCs to be done so that we can better understand how these third parties and passkey etc works. Plus we are waiting on the UI designs so that full-fledged development can be started. Yeah, I think that's all from the development team. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Robinson. Marketing and content updates. We'll be going through website analytics by Vitor, Peerplays Zone, Vlad, community, Vlad, graphics and branding, Oksana. I'll ask that you guys just continue one after another and we'll get started. Thank you. Peerplays Zone with Vlad.
So we're currently integrating our blockchain with Peerplays Zone, formerly known as Scenes, which is this platform. And Barris and I are continuously working with the Avalon team week over week. And essentially what's going to happen is people are going to be able to plug in their balances, and their account names, and they're going to display their balances from the Peerplays blockchain. And we're going to expand that to many different assets that you can have on Peerplays, and eventually we can expand that even beyond Peerplays and start to have actual blockchain data displayed here from other chains as well. So for this, we're using an API that is like our latest rendition of the Peerplays API. Most issues are resolved. Our API is responsive. They just need to sort of validate their credentials against it and get it running. So we expect this to happen this week. So stay tuned. You'll be able to soon show your balance and your PPY holdings on Zone. And then the next step from there will be to actually be able to transfer them and send them and interact with the chain, not just display data from it. The rebrand work has begun probably 2 weeks ago. Now we're pretty well underway, calling Peerplays Zone. And new APK file actually refers to an app, to a mobile app. So stay tuned. We'll have a mobile app for Zone soon. We've had some bugs that prevented it from showing the feed properly, and sometimes it was rendering, sometimes it wasn't. That's being investigated. We think we know what's going on because there was recently an upgrade to the entire platform, and we think it's related to that. So once that is resolved, we'll have a fully functioning app, and we hope to list it on the Google Play Store as well. And as in regards to the community, they keep pushing for more liquidity paths. We keep seeing this in our Telegram groups, in other places as well. We're constantly looking for more witnesses. We had, I think, 2 witnesses go offline in the past few months. So if anyone is looking to become a witness, please get in touch with me. I'll put you in touch with the appropriate tech people and get you set up. There have been instances of funds stuck in certain centralized and also, some that claim to be decentralized exchanges. So we're trying to get a hold of them and pursue this matter forward. This involves like talking to support teams and maybe people in their leadership to make sure that they have what they need to be able to support PPY holders that might want to get their funds out. But we still want to remind you, not your keys, not your coins. So you want to make sure you're holding your tokens from any chain, any tokens really, in a wallet that is safe and not in a centralized place. You do so at your own risk. But our community is encouraged to look around at our blog and newsletter to stay updated. We're trying to keep those as up to date as possible with the recent restructuring the marketing team. But we'll have newsletters come out soon. Yeah, I think that is all for me.
So, hello everyone, my name is Oksana. I am graphic motion designer here at Peerplays. So, it is crucial to keep up with the latest web design trends and technology to remain competitive and meet the evolving needs and experiences of the users of Peerplays. So, in response to that, and to actually moving the brand forward, marketing team made the decision to make the website more interactive and interesting to gather around. It can help us to engage with our audience and provide everyone with more enjoyable experience. Dave and I are working together to make all of these ideas come to life. So the website will be easy to navigate and to use on any screens from mobile to desktop. So this is initially the first page, our homepage. So we will show you other designs as well. So this is update to witness page. We are currently working on making it all into development stage. We have a mock-up already created, and everything of this will be interactive, and whenever you will move the mouse, everything will move, and also will be more interesting to not only read but also to interact around with. This is our vision page. So as you can see, this is all moving parts when we are scrolling around, and we are adding new elements into this, and just making it overall look interesting. And we believe that design like that will keep up us with all of the what Peerplays actually is. So, and we're also making the user experience our top priority. So we are thinking of how the user will see it, perceive it, and how it will engage and interact with everything we are showing in our website. And this is the initial mock-up for the career page that we're creating. And that's pretty much it for what we created. Thank you so much.
Oksana.
Good morning, everyone. So over the past few weeks, we have been adjusting our organic strategy by changing our content across all social media platforms, constantly posting new content and implementing a new SEO approach that involves utilizing different keywords. As you can see, we already have seen positive results in the past week with growth in almost all analyzed KPIs, including users, new users, sessions, page views, and also a drop in our bounce rate. We'll continue to work on that, and we're also getting data from our social media channels to present in their KPIs in the upcoming town hall.
Those are our marketing updates. We will go on with collaboration updates from Jonathan. Thank you.
Good day, everybody. These are the collaboration updates for this past week with Peerplays. So within the standards category with the Government Blockchain Association, we are continuing to work with them on the decentralized ID standard, which is going to go into their blockchain maturity model. We've had a number of calls with them contributing to that work group, and that's going well. My understanding is that they're going to get underway with the gaming group soon as well. That is led up by the Gaming Benefits Corporation guys that we also work with, which I'll be talking about shortly. So that should be getting underway sometime this summer, from what I understand. So that'll be good news, because then we can start to integrate concepts and the operations that exist in Peerplays into those standards, which means that Peerplays becomes a compliant blockchain for, or not compliant, but a blockchain which follows the standards which they are recommending with the Government Blockchain Association and those organizations that seek to meet those standards. So that's all good. In the community sector, there is Avalon Meta with the Scenes Plus community platform. As Vlad talked about, there's a lot of exciting integration going on there. There's been some corporate changes happening with the Scenes, with the Avalon Meta company. So as far as where PBSA in the past had a position with Avalon Meta, we no longer will, as they are taking a change in how they're structured, and there will be another company that will basically be looking to acquire them. So that's going to change our position with them. However, as part of that deal, they are going to continue to support Peerplays into the future and continue to complete the integrations, which we've been talking about for a little while now. So that's good news. And thanks to this change that's happening, they're going to be able to expand further and reach into markets they have not reached before, which means that Peerplays is going to be a feature part of that as they do that. So that's some good news that's coming down the pipe. And as that goes forward, I will share more details as they become available. And in the gaming sector, there is Gaming Benefits Corporation. With them, we're working on a regulatory dashboard that is for the gaming sector. This means that regulators within the gaming industry would use our application to be able to, or not our application, but they would use this application to be able to gain regulatory insights into the games that are being used, specifically with Gaming Benefits Corporation, to be able to have easier reporting. In the regulated world, everything moves really slow. So this is part of why in the past we moved away from trying to break into it. But this company is heading it up, and so we are basically providing the blockchain element to it. And with this meeting that we had recently, they gave me updates on what's happening with new moves forward with regulators. They talked about a number of companies that are looking at what they're doing and are quite excited about the prospects of it. So this means that with the applications that they introduce that have the regulatory dashboard, they would be easier for gaming organizations to be able to get approval with using them versus the way it is now, which is a hefty and difficult process. So, so that was I had a call with the directors where they gave me all these updates. Things are moving forward very nicely. My understanding, though, is that there's some development there's some development still to be done, but that's still pending. So that's the update on the collaborations. In dedicated team updates, we are seeking a part-time DevOps to work with Peerplays team. We did list this on LinkedIn. We got a huge amount of responses. So we aren't really looking for any help from anybody to give us their submissions. But we are going to be looking at bringing on somebody else hopefully soon. There's lots of excellent talent out there. We're looking for somebody who's very experienced and can work part-time to support the efforts that we have going on, as Robinson talked about. And aside from that, there are no new changes to the team overall. And that's the update for Peerplays this week. Thank you.
Thank you, Jonathan. Okay, questions, comments, thoughts? We had one question come in from the community. This question will be for Robinson. What is the benefit of using an EVM compatible chain?
Yeah, so EVM compatibility is primarily for getting support from existing smart contracts. So more than the EVM itself, what we're interested in is, and generally what people are interested in is the whole set of open source and other smart contracts available. So starting from NFTs to DeFi protocols, we have lots of existing tools and contracts available. So the plan is to, or the idea is to make use of this ecosystem. And obviously the Ethereum ecosystem had the first mover advantage, and lots of existing contracts available. So EVM itself may not be the target, or from a technical perspective may not be the best virtual machine implementation. And also looking at our past experience with graphene, what we have seen is for something as simple as NFTs, we had to spend close to 6 months to get the NFTs and get the NFTs developed, deployed, etc. So, and for every simple feature, the time required to develop was pretty much the same. But with smart contracts and with something like Solidity, it's a lot more easier to get these additional features implemented. So the best way to look at is, or the right way to look at is, it is not EVM that we are looking at, but rather Solidity and the the uh, the availability of existing smart contracts which we can reuse. So, giving an example of somebody who wanting to set up a new community and or launch a new NFT, it will be a lot more easier for them to pick one of the existing contracts, deploy it as it is, or extend it, as opposed to what we were doing in Graphene. So, simply put, the idea is EVM compatibility opens the doors to get the best of what's available in the Ethereum ecosystem and all other similar ecosystems uh, like the Binance chains and whatnot. So that's the reason for going with an EVM compatible chain.
Thank you very much, Robinson. Okay, that concludes today's weekly town hall meeting, May 15th, 2023. Thank you all so much for joining us and have a great week.
Thanks, everybody.